Should dangerous criminals roam free in our neighborhoods? It's a question no law-abiding American should have to ask. Yet under the current administration, it's a terrifying reality. Our streets are becoming more dangerous, and the blame lies on those who refuse to enforce our laws. This isn't about politics, it's about safety, security, and the fundamental promise of America. Reckless policies prioritize open borders over the safety of American citizens. The Biden-Harris administration has released thousands of criminal illegal aliens back into our communities. These aren't just minor offenders, we're talking about convicted felons and violent criminals. The administration's blatant disregard for the victims of these crimes is infuriating. American families are being torn apart by preventable tragedies. The administration remains silent, more concerned with appeasing radical activists. This is not compassion, it's negligence on a grand scale. The American people deserve better. We deserve to live in a country where our leaders prioritize our safety and security. We deserve to raise our children without fear of being victimized by criminals. This is a national outrage, and it's time for a change. The numbers are staggering, and they paint a grim picture of the administration's failed policies. Over 150,000 criminal illegal aliens were released into the United States in 2023 alone. These individuals had been convicted of a wide range of crimes, including assault, rape, robbery, drug trafficking, and even murder. Let that sink in for a moment. 150,000 criminals here illegally released back onto our streets. These aren't just statistics, they are human beings with a proven track record of violence and disregard for the law. The Biden-Harris administration's policies on illegal immigration are nothing short of a dereliction of duty. These actions are treasonous. Their actions directly contradict their sworn oath to uphold the Constitution and protect the American people. Instead of enforcing our immigration laws, they have chosen to prioritize open borders, even at the expense of public safety. One of the most egregious examples of this is the administration's decision to end the Remain in Mexico policy. This policy, implemented by the Trump administration, required asylum seekers to wait in Mexico while their cases were being processed in the United States. The policy was highly effective in reducing illegal immigration and preventing fraudulent asylum claims. However, the Biden-Harris administration reversed this policy on their first day in office, claiming it was inhumane. The result? A surge of illegal immigration at the southern border, overwhelming Border Patrol agents and creating a humanitarian crisis. But the administration didn't stop there. They also halted construction of the border wall, further weakening our defenses against illegal immigration. These actions are not just misguided, they are dangerous and irresponsible. They demonstrate a complete disregard for the rule of law and the safety of the American people. The consequences of the Biden-Harris administration's policies are clear. Our immigration enforcement system is overwhelmed, crime is on the rise, and the safety of our communities is being jeopardized. ICE detention facilities are operating far beyond their intended capacity, with thousands of criminal illegal aliens being released back onto the streets due to lack of space. This isn't a matter of resources, it's a matter of priorities. The Biden-Harris administration has chosen to prioritize releasing criminal illegal aliens over providing ICE with the resources it needs to detain and deport them. This is simply unacceptable. Meanwhile, crime rates are surging in cities across the country. While the administration is quick to blame these increases on the COVID-19 pandemic, the data tells a different story. Many of these crimes are being committed by illegal aliens who were released from custody by the Biden-Harris administration. These are preventable crimes, and the blood of innocent victims is on the hands of those who refuse to enforce our laws. Behind the statistics, behind the political rhetoric, are real people whose lives have been tragically impacted by open border policies. These are the faces of American citizens who have become victims of crimes committed by criminal illegal aliens. Jessica Colotl was brutally murdered in her home by an illegal alien released under catch-and-release policies. Jessica's story is a heartbreaking reminder of the human cost of open borders. Sarah Root was killed by a drunk illegal alien who fled the country after being released on bond. These are just two examples of countless American lives tragically cut short. Section 6. Ignoring the victims, a betrayal of trust. The Biden-Harris administration's consistent disregard for the victims of crimes committed by illegal aliens is a betrayal of the public trust. These are American citizens who have been failed by the very government that swore to protect them. Instead of acknowledging their pain and taking steps to prevent future tragedies, the administration has chosen to prioritize the well-being of illegal aliens over the safety and security of American citizens. This is not compassion, it's a dereliction of duty. This is treason. It's a betrayal of the oath of office that every elected official takes to uphold the Constitution and protect the American people. The administration's silence in the face of these tragedies is deafening. They have offered no condolences to the families of the victims, no apologies for their failed policies, and no plans to change course. This is simply unacceptable. The American people deserve better. We deserve leaders who will prioritize our safety and security. We deserve leaders who will enforce our laws and hold criminals accountable, regardless of their immigration status. We deserve leaders who will stand up for the victims of crime, not the perpetrators. Section 7. The price of open borders, a nation in peril. The price of open borders is high, and it's being paid for by American lives. The Biden-Harris administration's reckless policies have created a crisis at our southern border, allowing a surge of illegal immigration that is overwhelming our immigration enforcement system and putting our communities at risk. The consequences of this crisis are far-reaching. Drug trafficking, human trafficking, and gang violence are all on the rise. Our hospitals and schools are being strained by the influx of undocumented immigrants, and American workers are being displaced by illegal labor. This is not sustainable. Our nation cannot afford to continue down this path. We are a nation of laws, and those laws must be enforced. We are a sovereign nation, and our borders must be secured. Section 8, a call for justice, demanding accountability. The time for silence is over. It's time for the American people to rise up and demand accountability from the Biden-Harris administration. We must hold them responsible for their reckless policies and the devastating consequences they have had on our nation. We must demand that they secure our border, enforce our immigration laws, and put an end to catch and release. We must demand that they prioritize the safety and security of American citizens over the well-being of illegal aliens. And we must demand justice for the victims of crimes committed by illegal aliens. We, the American people, have the power to change course. We can make our voices heard by contacting our elected officials, organizing protests, and supporting organizations that are fighting for immigration enforcement. We must send a clear message that we will not tolerate open borders and the lawlessness that comes with them. Section 9, restoring order, securing our future. Securing our border and enforcing our immigration laws is not about hate, it's about love. It's about loving our country and wanting to protect it for future generations. It's about loving our families and wanting to keep them safe. We can have a compassionate immigration system without sacrificing our security. We can welcome immigrants who come here legally, contribute and integrate into our society and embrace our values. But we cannot allow our country to be overrun by illegal immigration. The Biden-Harris administration's open border policies are a threat to our national security, our economic prosperity, and our very way of life. It's time to restore order, secure our future, and put America first.